Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Mary McLeod Bethune, and Benjamin Banneker are just a few of the history makers who took the pulpit of one of Macon's African-American Methodist churches. This weekend, the church is hosting a community-wide reunion that will bring their legacies alive. Megan Western has more.
The historic Steward Chapel AME Church is inviting former members, church partners, friends, and the community to its inaugural Steward Alive Welcome Home Family Fun Legacy Reunion. Joining us to talk about the event is the church's pastor, Reverend Dr. Wanda West. So thanks so much for joining us.
Excited to be here.
Of course.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and talk about part of that theme, welcome home. What does that mean to you, and, what do you want people to take from that?
Yes. Well, I just want to share that when you welcome folk home, you're telling them to come back home. Let's just sit, conversate, and recall. So we've adopted a theme that says, rooted in prayer.
Right.
Rising with purpose, investing in tomorrow.
Yeah.
As we rebuild a worship center and connect our congregation to the legacy that the good Lord has left there. As we've begun to dig into the archives and to pull together our own history, it is so important to this generation that we not only connect the history, but connect it to the audience, the community, because Steward Chapel has been a beacon light in this Macon community.
Right, definitely. That's something that'll be really important for the community members to
Yeah.
know about and recall, as you said. When people come to this event, what types of things will be happening? What can people experience here?
Well, we've done some exciting things. One, we have reached out to anyone that we have known that has been a member or their families have been members, and we are African Methodist Episcopal Church, so we are part of a connection. So we are inviting our conference, the Macon community, and Steward Chapel is a part of the downtown historic district, the Cotton Avenue district. And so we are reaching back to say, come home. Steward is still alive.
Right.
And we are so excited about regenerating that interest.
Definitely. You guys have more than 160 years under you guys' belt, which is an amazing honor. Not many churches make it to 160 years. How do you feel about that, and what do you want people to know about that history?
Pre-post Civil War, 1865 was our founding date. Our founder, our first pastor, Theodophilus Gord Stewart, and the church itself, the church that you see when you drive down Cotton Avenue, it's been there since 1869. In 1865, we were at Pine Street where the Atrium Medical Center is now, right at the emergency center. And as we've studied our history, what we've learned is that that church burned in 1865, and in 1869, the church was rebuilt. Wow. Exciting history, because Steward Chapel is the only African-American church during that time where the land was purchased by African Americans. The church was actually built brick by brick.
Wow. And
those bricks are handmade. But the church was built by blacks. It has been sustained by blacks under this AME connection.
Yeah, really great history. Definitely something that we want our younger generations and even the folks out in the Macon community who, aren't familiar with that history to know. Talk to us a little bit more. How does this reunion strengthen the relationships between some of the former members, the current members, or even just folks out in the community?
Well, we've reached out not only to our members, our partners, city government, just all of our friends, sororities, fraternities. I mean, it goes on and on. But the connection is important because Steward Chapel is a pivotal connection of the growth of Macon and the growth of the African American culture. When cotton was carried down Cotton Avenue to the river, Steward Chapel was in that mix. When all of the black businesses were along Cotton Avenue, the downtown churches were in that mix. Not only Stewart, First Baptist, Washington Avenue Presbyterian, and Holy Temple. And I always like to put that almost in a circle that God put for Macon to grow out of. Yeah. And so we found that many of our members and our connections to the communities, their family members may have been a member, even though they married, gone off, or people have gone off and started their church. But our history reaches back to Philadelphia, where we are actually out of the United Methodist Church, St. George, where the founder of the AME Church, Richard Allen, walked out. One Sunday when they were praying at the altar, they were pulled, the African Americans were pulled away from the altar, and so Richard Allen decided to start the AME Church. And so it's a connection that's walked from Mother Bertha through the Carolinas. Emmanuel has walked to Atlanta, Big Bethel, Savannah, St. Philip's, and Steward Chapel. And so when we did the bicentennial back in 1976, 200 years, what we learned was Steward Chapel was on this historic trail. There were 4 horsemen that included Henry McNeil Turner, who the post office is named after. They were members of our church. So what we've learned in studying it and pulling this history together is we've had great statesmen, great churchmen, great people to speak and come through the doors of that church. And our pastor was a part of that team with Henry McNeil Turner that came south and started AME churches all over the South. So our membership has looked like Reverend Stewart, and L.A. Smith. Stewart built the foundation of Steward Chapel, but Reverend L.A. Smith came back with the architects and put the medieval front on it. I've been so intrigued and excited. The pipe organ has been there for years, and the original pipe organ was moved, and Judge Lewis Sands, and the members of the church and the choir at that time got together, and we still have a pipe organ. Of course, it's in Allen, the organ now. But it's so exciting to be able to bring the old and new together. Definitely. It's so exciting to look at tradition and what we have to do to recalibrate for a new mission. Yeah. And so it's exciting. So this Sunday, we hope to bring all of that together in music. We hope to bring all that together in having the families to reconnect again. And so Major Johnston in our church and the trustees and stewards in our church have come together, and he said, Dr. West, we're doing this. Reverend West, we're doing this. We're going to step outside of the box. Yeah. We're going to have a good time in this church, and we're going to start an inaugural church family reunion, because churches do that. Yes. Oh, man, where the families come together. But we are starting an inaugural church reunion, and we are looking at moving into a stage where we will look at building praise and worship. Mm. We will look at educating our audience, connecting that history, reaching out to provide service. Right. And with the audience of skills that we have, pulling in young people. Our focus will be the young. Yeah. Because if you don't have young folk in your church, it's a dead church. Correct. For the future.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing all that really good history with us. That was really good information We want to pop up the information to this upcoming family reunion that you really don't want to miss. If you know any young people out in the community who are looking to get connected, this might be a great event for them. The community is invited to the Steward Alive Welcome Home Family Fun Legacy Reunion. It's a free event that'll include an afternoon filled with worship, fellowship, entertainment, those historical memories, and of course a dinner that'll also be catered by the blacksmith shop. It all is happening Sunday, July 26th. Take a look at your screen. It starts at 2 p.m. over at the Steward Chapel AME Church, which is on Forsyth Street. Of course, afterwards, you can go to the blacksmith shop for that meal. Make sure you stick with us. We'll have more after this.